Right. So conduct procurements is nothing much. Basically, it's a process. Once you have already done the previous stuff, uh, uh, it's a matter of issuing the RFPs and taking the sellers' responses, uh, uh, evaluating the sellers depending on the source selection criteria that you have already decided at the planning stage, and awarding the contracts. Uh, the skills that is required can be negotiating, negotiating skills you might require on negotiating these suppliers at the time of the procurement. Um, so conduct procurements basically the main input, I would say, would be the procurement management plan just be completed, how the procurements are managed. Sometimes the communication plan that we did last session, the communication plan might also contain certain information you as a project manager how to communicate with the suppliers, whether you need to go for a paper advertisement or whether you can go for emailing or advertise on your social media for certain consultancy work. So that will be there. uh, then again, as I told you, the project documents, the project schedule will contain the start and the end dates. Definitely by this time that you know when the procurement should be slot into your major project plan, in your overall project plan, at what time this procurement should come and slot in. The technical requirements, any risks you can consider, your exchange risks, like these days where the exchange is skyrocketing, so it will be a risk for you to procure at this moment of time. Obviously you have risk, you will have what you call risk management factors, like you can do a futures contract with your, or a forward contract with your banks for to manage the exchange rate risks. Delivery risks, basically you can have insurance to any damages for deliveries. Maybe duration risks, again, you can have a backup plan, but then there can be you will have to understand that any procurement will have a risk of lead time. Anything, situation like this, COVID-19, all your projects can be delayed because maybe you're importing certain things from China, the factories are closed, and there can be duration risks. So as I told you, the procurement documentation, the templates will be important because now you are going to procure certain things. The source selection criteria and those things will be now important to what you decided earlier, short time ago. Independent cost estimates that you can have as a reference guide when people are quoting, when the suppliers are quoting for you. Previous obtained seller proposals in previous projects will be handy when you're putting proposals, and now when you're publishing your proposals out. You as a project manager might have to know about the local laws, international regulations, international, what's happening internationally when you're trying to procure, especially in an uncertain period like this. Then again, advertising, negotiate. You as a project manager, you will have to, now you're procuring things, you will have to negotiate, you will have to negotiate technical matters. Maybe you will have to look at your laws and regulations. Maybe your supplier is a US supplier, and he wants to he want to come to an agreement in your contractual agreements under US laws, but you are a Sri Lankan company where the UK laws will be applying to Sri Lankan companies. So you will have to come to a maybe sometimes you will settle in a middle level where you might choose Singapore as a law of the contract, so that there can be arbitration in Singapore for large procurements. So you will have to compromise there. Advertising, whether, as I told you, whether online advertising or paper advertising, and then you might have bidder conferences, especially in government organization. You have pre-bid conferences where you invite all the suppliers who are intending to bid, and then you clarify your RFP document, so that you clarify your RFP document and the requirements that you have specified in your RFP document. Select your sellers after proposal, and after proposal evaluation, so finally you select your sellers after your source evaluation criteria and giving marks and taking the necessary approvals. Then you come into agreements. Maybe you can tap your legal team of your organization to do agreements, but then it's always good for you as a project manager to get involved in agreements and try to understand what is their agreements, so that you can put the proper warranty clauses or schedule. You can put your master project plan, so you and can specify to your legal team that this is the schedule time that the agreement should have. Any penalties, any delays in delivery, 2% of the purchase value for every week of delay. So likewise, you can have penalties. Any bonds, performance bonds or insurance bonds for any advance payments that you do. Change request procedures can be specified in the agreement itself. So these things will be the outputs of a procurement of a procurement process.